Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, my dear students. Today we will discuss an important topic regarding the chapter of neoplasia, that is epidemiology. So, my dear students, what is epidemiology? Epidemiology is the science that studies the patterns, causes, and effects of health and disease conditions in a defined population. So, major insights into the causes of cancers, these can be obtained by epidemiologic studies that relate the particular environmental, racial, and cultural influences to the occurrence of specific neoplasms. These epidemiologic studies, they have established the causative link between smoking and lung cancer, the comparison of diet and cancer rates in the Western world and Africa has implicated high dietary fat and low fiber in the development of colon cancer. So, by these studies help us to establish the relation of various environmental factors with the cancers and these diseases. Certain diseases associated with an increased risk of developing cancer, that are pre-neoplastic disorders, also provide clues to the pathogenesis of the cancer. This is a table shown to you, my dear students. This is the percentage of cancers in the males and females, and you can see that the most common cancer in the females is breast cancer. So this is cancer incidence. Breast cancer, that is 26%, and the most common cancer in the males is prostate cancer. And when we come to the cancer deaths, then we see that the most common cause of death due to cancer in males is due to lung cancer, 31%. Whereas in females, the most important cause of death is also due to lung cancer. So this is all the cancer incidences in the males and females. That is, we say that cancer incidence by site and sex and cancer deaths by site and sex. Now, my dear students, there are a number of occupational cancers. What do we mean by this? Occupational cancer means that when the risk of cancer increases due to occupation. So there are certain occupations in which there is increased risk of getting cancer. What are these? The people who work in the industries of arsenic, they have increased chances of getting lung cancer, skin cancers, hemangiosarcomas, because the arsenic, it's a byproduct of metal smelting, and these are the components of alloys. The people who work in the industries of asbestos, it results in the lung carcinomas, in the mesotheliomas, and these are present in the fire resistant textiles, friction materials, brake linings, underlayment and roofing papers and floor tiles. So it's the ingredient of all these. So the people who are involved in the asbestos factories and industries, they are more prone to develop the lung cancers. Then, as we all know, that benzene is a part of paints, rubber, dry cleaning, adhesives, coatings and detergents. So the people who are involved in these factories, they are more prone to develop leukemias and Hodgkin lymphomas. The beryllium industries, the people who work there, they get more lung carcinomas. Cadmium, it is related to prostatic cancer. It is part of that batteries, alloys, and in the metal plating, all these things. Chromium, it is related to lung cancer. It is also component of metal alloys, paints, pigments, and preservatives. Nickel, nickel plating is very common in our country, and it's component of ferrous alloys, ceramics, and batteries, and it is related to nose and lung cancers. Radon, that occurs from decay of minerals containing uranium. It is also associated with the lung cancer. Vinyl chloride, it is a refrigerant, and this vinyl chloride is associated with the angiosarcoma, that is the cancer of the blood vessels and the liver. So vinyl chloride is associated with the cancers. Now, these are some examples of inherited predisposition to cancer. That is, the people who have mutation in these genes, who have these mutations, they have certain diseases, certain inherited predisposition of getting cancers. So what are these? The retinoblastoma gene, it is associated with the disease, with the cancer of retinoblastoma. P53 gene mutation, it leads to Li-Fraumeni syndrome. P16 INK4A gene mutation, it is related to the melanoma. Then APC gene mutation related to familial adenomatous polyposis, colon cancer. NF1, neurofibromatosis 1, and NF2 genes, their mutation is associated with neurofibromatosis 1 and 2. BRCA1 and BRCA2, these genes mutations are associated with breast and ovarian tumors. MEN1 and RET genes are associated with multiple endocrine neoplasias 1 and 2. Then MSH1, MLH1, and MSH6, these are associated with hereditary non-polyposis colonic cancer. PTCH is associated with nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. PTEN is associated with Cowden syndrome. LKB1 is associated with Peutz-Jeghers syndrome, that is epithelial cancers. And VHL is associated with renal cell carcinomas. So these genes, their mutations is associated with the inherited predisposition of these cancers. And there are some inherited autosomal recessive syndromes, that are xeroderma pigmentosum, ataxia, telangiectasia, Bloom syndrome, Fanconi anemia. These are all autosomal recessive syndromes that are inherited. So my dear students, there are familial cancers that move over to the young ones via families. Familial clustering of cases, that role of inherited predisposition not clear for each individual. So the breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and pancreatic cancer, they have a strong role in families. So these are the familial cancers that they run in the families. Now, my dear students, there are certain non-hereditary predisposing conditions also that lead to cancers. So what are these different conditions? Certain predisposing influences such as environment, behaviors, and clinical conditions can increase the risk of cancer. For example, regenerative, chronic inflammation, metaplastic, hyperplastic, and dysplastic proliferations of cells, they may lead to cancer. These are the chronic inflammatory states and associated cancer with that. So when there is chronic inflammation due to asbestos and silica, that is called Asbestosis and silicosis, it lead to mesothelioma, lung cancer due to asbestos fibers. Then bronchitis, that is the inflammation of the bronchi. That bronchitis, chronic bronchitis may lead to lung carcinoma. That bronchitis associated with silica, asbestos, smoking. Then cystitis, that is the inflammation of bladder due to chronic indwelling urinary catheters, etc., can lead to bladder carcinoma. Then another condition is the oral gingivitis, lichen planus, may lead to oral squamous cell carcinoma. Inflammatory bowel diseases may lead to colorectal carcinoma. Lichen sclerosis may lead to vulvar squamous cell carcinoma. Chronic pancreatitis, it is maybe associated with pancreatic carcinoma due to alcoholism. Then hereditary pancreatitis due to mutations in trypsinogen gene can lead to pancreatic carcinoma. Reflux esophagitis, Barrett esophagus, can lead to esophageal carcinoma. Then sialadenitis, that is the inflammation of the salivary gland, it may lead to salivary gland carcinoma. Then a Sjogren's syndrome, it is also an inflammatory condition. The Hashimoto's thyroiditis is inflammatory disease of the thyroid, can lead to malt lymphoma, that is the lymphoma associated with the mucosa associated lymphoid tissue lymphoma. Then chronic cholecystitis, that is the inflammation of the gallbladder, can result in the gallbladder cancer. That inflammation may be due to bacteria or gallbladder stone, etc. So the gastritis, that is the inflammation of the stomach due to Helicobacter pylori, can lead to gastric adenocarcinoma or malt lymphoma. Then hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver due to hepatitis B or C viruses, can lead to hepatocellular carcinoma. Then mononucleosis can lead to, due to Epstein-Barr virus, can lead to B cell or non-Hodgkin lymphoma and Hodgkin lymphomas. Then AIDS, it can lead to non-Hodgkin lymphoma, squamous cell carcinoma or Kaposi sarcoma. You may find the cancers, carcinoma in draining sinuses in the setting of osteomyelitis, that is a bacterial infection. Then the pelvic inflammatory diseases, chronic cervicitis, may be associated with ovarian carcinoma and cervical and anal carcinoma. Then chronic cystitis, that is a chronic inflammation of the bladder, it can lead to bladder carcinoma, liver carcinoma, and can be associated with rectal carcinoma if it is associated with schistosomiasis. So my dear students, what is the main reason of telling you all this is that there are various bacteria, viruses and certain chronic inflammatory states then that may lead to the cancer formation, that may be associated with the cancer formation. So how? Because these chronic inflammatory conditions due to certain viruses, bacteria, parasites, as schistosomiasis, schistosoma is a parasite, Helicobacter pylori is a bacteria, hepatitis B, C, these are the viruses. So these can also result in the cancer when there is chronic inflammation associated with these, and these can result in the cancer by resulting in the mutation in the genes.